Kia ora and welcome back to the BEIA Be On Air podcast series, coming at you from Meetings 2026. And I am your host, Hayley Holt. We are, of course, inside the New Zealand International Convention Centre. So it's fitting that our next guest, Ken Pereira, is from the Auckland Convention Bureau. Welcome. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me, Hayley.
So it must be so exciting to be in this building for you, someone who is obviously championing Auckland.
Beyond belief, Hayley. Being in this building is certainly a dream come true. We've been working in trying to program this building for a number of years, and now to be in the building, and not just be in the building, hosting all of our manoheri who are coming here from all around the world to experience the best of business events in a venue that's purposefully built for a business event. It's just exciting.
Now, we all know it's been quite the challenge to get here. What has that journey been like, and has it all been worth it?
Absolutely worth it. And look, yes, there's been some hiccups, should we say, along the way. But now seeing this building come to life, being able to host guests here, not just the Meetings trade show, but other international conferences, this now building is enabling us to really position Tamaki Makaurau globally. We're now being able to bid for opportunities that we just wouldn't have been able to do before. So it's really put Auckland on the map.
So Ken, can you tell us a little bit about your role with the Auckland Convention Bureau and what it is that you're trying to sell?
Sure. So my role at the Bureau, I'm the head of business events at Tātaki Auckland Unlimited, but the Convention Bureau sits within the Tātaki Auckland Unlimited whānau. So my job is to try and attract as many conferences, conventions, incentive programs to the city. Look, we do that for a couple of reasons. A, we try and connect in strategic aspirations for the city through the type of work that we do. And what I mean by that is if we want to be a tech and innovation hub, we then need to go out and bring those conversations in our city. And there's a couple of reasons for that even. So one, we were able to share knowledge exchange, some of the great stuff that happens in our universities, our research programs, some of the great stuff that we as Kiwis are working on, share their stories with the world, but also learn from international best practice, learn from international leaders. So it really connects in those strategic conversations. The other reason is a business event delegate is about 3 times as lucrative as a normal tourist. If you think about a person coming into the city for a conference, they're staying in nicer hotels, they're eating in restaurants, they're traveling in better seats on the plane. So it's a really, win-win situation. We connect a strategic conversation and aspiration, and we bring, those incredibly important dollars into our economy.
Obviously, this is about events in New Zealand as a whole, but you, as a champion of Auckland, do you get to an event like this and then obviously you're trying to entice people to come to the country, but once they're here, are you then in competition with, say, Wellington and Christchurch? Do you eye them up? Do you try and sabotage their stands?
Sabotage, we always play nicely. But look, yes, brand New Zealand is how we lead internationally,
yes.
And that's incredibly important. We as Kiwis should be incredibly proud of Aotearoa and how we position ourselves globally. So we lead with Aotearoa New Zealand first, and then we position the city and then the venue. And look, we've got great respect and for competition in Wellington and Christchurch. They've got some fantastic assets and convention centres there too. I truly believe we've got the best here in Auckland. It's certainly the biggest, the most technologically advanced. And look, Auckland is the most connected destination globally, even compared to some of our sister cities. So, for us in Auckland, it's just a no-brainer. You get in on the flight, you get into Auckland, you stay in Auckland. But then we're happy for regional dispersal. Once you have your program here, feel free to go out and experience the best of Aotearoa once you've hosted your event here.
What is the best about Auckland? Let's sort of move past the convention centre and get out into the city itself. So when you've got convention guests or international business travellers, what else are they doing?
Look, we've got some fantastic tourist experiences, but let me just step back one step behind, because I really feel one of our superpowers is our cultural diversity. And Hayley, I don't know if you were at the Welcome event last night, but we programmed a showcase of the different cultures that we have here in Tamaki Makaurau. And see, that is something that we should be incredibly proud of. certainly the way that the world operates at the moment, we feel like that is something that we really want to shine on the global stage. We've got 180 different ethnicities in the city. There's not many places in the world that can say that. And for our international manohiri, last night it was for them to see themselves in our communities. It's very important that they see themselves being reflected in our culture. And then you can program other tourist experiences for them to come in and do. So again, lead by culture, and then you can connect in all the other fantastic experiences that they can do in our city.
Obviously, you've been around the world. You've been to other big major city centres and you've seen what they can offer. How do we compare in terms of that culture? Is it something that's really unique to us?
Absolutely. Look, I think as an international myself, I grew up in Mumbai. So I really value the opportunity. And I've got a 7-year-old daughter. I look at everything through the lens of my daughter, and I want her to grow up in a multicultural city. I want her to experience not just my culture but other cultures. And my wife's Belgian. So we've got the United Nations at our home. So that cultural piece for us is incredibly important. New Zealand does it really well. And Tamaki, being able to showcase, just think about some of the other cultural festivals that we host in Tamaki. Diwali, the Lantern Festival, Tamaki Heranga Waka. We've got Matariki coming up, the Chinese Lantern Festival.
Yep.
So we really, and there's not many cities in the world, I can tell you, Hayley, that celebrate all these cultures. And the way we do it is incredibly powerful.
Now, you don't have to sell Auckland to me because I am Auckland born and bred, but I've probably seen corners that you haven't. But what are you going to be telling your guests, your business guests, to do the minute they get here? Where are they going to be eating?
Sure. Look, I think in Auckland, culture also reflects in our food. We've got fantastic dining experiences. In fact, we curate every year the top 100 iconic eats in Auckland. And if you come to the Auckland regional stand, you can sample some of that food. We've got that on our stand. So again, dining is one essential element.
Yes.
The NZICC, the infrastructure piece is incredibly important also. Being able to speak to our business guests, trying to bring them into Auckland, we need to give them certainty that we've got the facilities to cater for their international conferences. And then connected to the convention centre, we also talk about accommodation. We've got fantastic hotel brands in the city. And that, again, is something that our international guests need to be able to see. They want to see international brands being represented in an international city. They want the international convention centre. They want also other infrastructure pieces like the city railing, for example. Now, that's going to open up the footprint for them to go out and explore a wider footprint of our city. So all of that, sort of connects. It's like a piece of the puzzle. Everything has its place. And when we're trying to position Auckland as a global city, trying to position it internationally, we need to bring all these pieces together and tell a story, punctuate that with culture, and then you've got a real powerful proposition.
How pivotal is this international convention centre to the business events industry in New Zealand?
Game changer. That's one word I can use. The NZICC for Auckland is a game changer. But let me just add to that, Hayley, we've got other fantastic venues around the city. Now we've got the Aotea Centre, we've got the Viaduct Event Centre. So we've got an existing suite of world-class venues. And now the NZICC is lifting that game and helping us position not just this building, other venues, but also our city globally.
And how big is the business events, incentive travel industry for the city? For the city's economy.
So we've, BIA have come back. We've done a detailed study with the value of business events.
Yes.
So globally, it's around. Nationally, last year, business events was valued at around $1 billion, close to $1 billion for New Zealand. Auckland has got about 25%, between 25 and 30% share. Let's be conservative, 25% share.
Okay.
250 million annually is what this sector is worth for New Zealand. So it's mega bucks in the type of work that we do. And now then you connect it to some of the other aspirations that we have in the strategic conversations. And how do we work with our universities to highlight and showcase some of their research? When you join that together, we've got a real clear economic value, and then we've got a strategic value and storytelling. So it's a real important piece of the visitor economy for Auckland.
What are the challenges about trying to bring international guests into the city, into Auckland, into New Zealand?
Look, we can't look past distance, and that's something that we have to contend with.
Mhm.
But we are an aspirational destination. It's an easy conversation to say come to New Zealand. Business events are about giving our guests a reason to be in New Zealand. And yes, no, they do travel from further away, but if there is a compelling reason for them to be here, and what better reason for them to come here and solve a problem, come in and congregate and have a face-to-face connection in their specialized sort of nature of the work that they do, and congregate here in a special place, it's a no-brainer. So that's, distance we can't look past, but trying to bring them in and giving them reason to be here is equally powerful.
What are your goals and aspirations for being here at Meetings 2026? Is there something you're hoping to achieve in these next 2 days?
Yeah, a couple of things. Obviously, we're here to do business.
Yeah.
We're here to lock in deals. So there is a lot of transactions that happen here, and we also want to take those opportunities to our partners. We've got a destination partnership program where partners invest in our team to try and help us achieve some of the commercial outcomes for them. So we're very serious about bringing commercial opportunity back to our partners, and having all our international guests, Australia, etc., come here and connecting those opportunities to our partners is something that we are quite passionate about. The other is about really demonstrating the capability that we have in the city. NZICC, our hotels, our tourism experiences, taking people to Matakana, to Waiheke, showcasing the length and breadth of what Tamaki has to offer is really important. So that's the other piece that we really focused on.
I've heard you mention Australia quite a bit. I'm imagining that's our biggest market.
Yes.
Is there any other markets that we are trying to target specifically? Where further afield are we looking?
That's an excellent question. Business events, by the nature of the work we do, is a global industry. So Australia, right, is the most, by virtue of being the most, closest international market, I guess you could call it.
Yep.
That's the most lucrative opportunity for us. Further afield, on the back of the connections that we have into North America, that's the other opportunity. India and China, you think about the free trade agreement that we've got with India now. That's another opportunity. And in fact, when I do travel internationally, when I was in Frankfurt at IMEX recently, the Indian opportunities were it was palatable. There's a lot of Indian conversations happening.
Really? So that has really impacted the industry already?
Yeah, yes, there is a lot more conversations. Yeah, some of it is also given the global disruption, I guess.
Sure.
So people are looking for more safe, more stable destinations. That's what event organizers need, right? They want stability, they want confidence, they want to know you've got the infrastructure, they want to know that you're able to travel here, and then we lay out everything wonderful that we have to offer while they're here. It's a very compelling argument for them to be here.
So is that part of the story? You mentioned earlier there's a lot of storytelling involved. Is that part of the story? We're stable, we're safe.
Absolutely. And we should be celebrating that. There's not many places in the world where you could really truthfully say you're stable, you're welcoming, and you're hungry for business. So we are positioned globally to try and capitalize on our stability, economically, politically, socially. I think there's a really strong story to be told, and we're telling that on behalf of Tamaki and on behalf of Aotearoa.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ken Pereira, for being with us here today.
Thank you,
and
Hayley.
Good luck out there getting lots of more clients and many, many more international visitors to our beautiful city.
Thank you, and I really appreciate the opportunity, Hayley. It was good to talk to you.